Hi, everybody. I'm Jacquelyn Kelly. Thank you so much for coming to our self-talk presentation. We've all been there. Sometimes it doesn't hit us until the conversation is over, but we realize sooner or later that we are talking to ourselves. We are either trying to convince ourselves to make a decision that we'd like to make, or we're trying to talk ourselves out of it. For some, it's a matter of whether or not we want to stick to our diet after being so good for a few weeks. For others, this self-talk comes at a moment when people or teammates are relying on us. Each of us has a running narrative. We continually speak to ourselves, sometimes positively, sometimes negatively. This running narrative is often referred to as self-talk. Research into this area of psychology has found that a modification in our self-talk can be useful and impactful towards cognitive and behavioral change. Research shows that positive self-talk can enhance performance. Self-talk has many uses. Having the right self-talk can enhance your concentration and keep you focused. Self-talk can increase your confidence. It can improve your motivation. Self-talk can help regulate your arousal levels, not being too overregulated and not being too underregulated. Self-talk can enrich your mental preparation, your pre-game and your post-game debrief. Self-talk helps break bad habits. If you're not a healthy eater or you don't like to warm up before an activity or stretch after, you can come up with some self-talk that can encourage you to break some of those bad habits. Self-talk can help you acquire new skills if you're trying to learn different footwork or how to place the ball differently depending on the sport that you play. And self-talk can help you sustain your effort. For example, with a runner, after they've gotten really tired, something's hurting, they've got a cramp and they want to quit. If they've got a really good self-talk routine, they can talk themselves right through that. There are 3 types of self-talk. Positive self-talk typically focuses on increasing energy, effort, and positive attitude, but does not carry any specific task-related cue. Instructional self-talk usually helps the individual focus on the technical or task-related aspect of the performance in order to improve execution. Negative self-talk is critical and self-demeaning. It gets in the way of a person reaching his or her goals, and it is counterproductive and anxiety producing. Here, go ahead and watch this video. This is a great example of negative self-talk.
Oh, why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
A great example of negative self-talk. I don't think that him yelling at the ball will help him for his decision-making on the next hole or the club that he's going to choose to try to save his game here. Research has found different ways self-talk can be more effective. There are certain types of phrasing that can make a bigger impact. This is the most important part of the presentation. I think that this is recorded, so you guys can go ahead and have a recording of this, but this would be a great place for you to take some notes on how to make your self-talk more impactful. So the first way is keep your phrases short and specific. 2, use the first person and present tense. 3, construct positive phrases. 4, say your phrases with meaning and attention. 5, Always speak kindly to yourself. And 6, repeat phrases often. Examples of positive self-talk can be as simple as, you got this, stay focused, have fun, and breathe. It's important that you remember that making a mistake is part of the game that you're playing. It's not an exception to what you're doing. There's very rarely does anyone have a perfect game, whether you are playing softball or volleyball, golf, or soccer. There'll be mistakes made, and you need to have these short, simple phrases to allow you to recover from a mistake and go on and be even more successful. These simple phrases can help overcome fear and those moments of discouragement that we just talked about. For example, a soccer goalie letting a goal in, it's going to happen. There are games where there are a shutout, but most goalies have had a ball go past them and they've been scored on. And the faster they recover from that, the more successful of a goalie they are. So instructional self-talk, I have an example here that I want to share with you guys. So this example is a soccer goalkeeper learning to place kick the ball. It's lengthy, but pay attention to all the different steps and then how we add the instruction at the end. The ball is placed on the 6-yard line and the goalkeeper must kick the ball from the ground into the air, hopefully in the vicinity of one of their teammates. The ball is stopped and everyone is watching. Really important to think about that very rarely are we doing anything that somebody isn't watching, and it adds sometimes some extra stress. So being able to go through this instruction, thinking about that will help. It might resemble the anxiety that a batter might feel or a football punter. You break down the physical aspects of the place kick. They learn where to place their plant foot, including pointing their toe, how far out from the ball and how far forward or backward they should place their plant foot. They learn where on the ball to strike it. They learn the place on their foot they should hit the ball. They learn how to measure off the steps from the ball to where they start their run up. To create consistency, they learn how to approach the ball, how to lean in, and pull back as the ball is struck. Once they've practiced this, then it's time to insert the instructional talk. This gives them easy internal voice commands to follow and reduces the stress. So when you first start out, you use lots of words and offer lots of instruction. As they become successful with different phases of the place kick, then you become up with shorter phases or shorter words that they're able to repeat out loud or inside their head to allow them to learn the skill quicker. With the self-talk instruction in place, they can audibly repeat to you, to their coach, to themselves, and this increases the skill more quickly. In summary of tonight's talk, regardless of how it presents itself, self-talk is impactful. Individuals can guide themselves through the toughest processes or lead themselves astray. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. If you have any questions about tonight's talk, please call or email. If you are interested in knowing more about your own self-talk, you can do an assessment, a specific self-talk assessment with me. I also hope to have the gym open after May 8th and would love to see some of you in here, either working on your mental skills or training. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.